Charlie.
Ross, how you doing, gentlemen?
Well, it's time for another T-Fro mini-sode about the state finals coming up this Saturday at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. This is my second best angle, by the way, behind the spy satellite. So this is what you're getting from me tonight. Good to see everybody. And with us tonight, we had Palm Beach on earlier, and now we have their opponents once again in the D3 state finals, Brevard Red Eyes. And they're represented tonight by two of the biggest characters in Florida rugby, Brock Roper and Hybrid. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us tonight. Listen, I'm just going to get straight to it. Is this the year? Whoever wants to go first. Is this the year?
I absolutely think this is the year. We've got 30 guys at training almost every Tuesday, Thursday. We've got all our guys back from injury. Not that that's an excuse, but we've actually gelled into a really good squad, and that's kind of been our coach's focus. Mixed focus is he doesn't want to peak early in the season. He wants to build on what we start with, try out different combinations, and I think we've really figured out and keyed in the proper people in the proper positions and the right substitutions, which was kind of our downfall last year. We didn't exactly have the right people coming off the bench to complement our starting 15. And I think we've got that kind of worked out perfectly this year, to be honest with you.
I mean, Hybrid, you've been there, done it all. Where do you see this team this year? You got your results up there here. I had the one heavy loss to Palm Beach back in February, but other than that, you're taking care of business against everybody else.
Yeah, that loss, it came, not to say that, the cog on the squad, but I am a pretty solid cog, and I was in South Africa, and
that's right. Yeah.
One of our other top 5 players on that match, one of our other top 5s was flanker hooker. He was not available. He was in France at the time, so we're missing 2 of our top 5 guys for that one. So it gave some other guys a chance to get smacked around a little bit. It's good for them. And then the last match, it was a close one, man. We were missing maybe one of our starters. I don't know how many, if they had their full strength or not. But, we looked good against them. And then we got to play some guys who, like Brock said, will sub in the final and, give them a taste of, the rivalry and all that, whatnot. And so they got a chance to clash heads, and we had plenty of chances to win. We had like 13 penalties. So we played a great game, but, it's all about keeping it clean, keeping it crisp and precise as we can, and as long as we can eliminate penalties and whistles, then I think we're gonna. I think we have every opportunity to kill it. We've got no weak links on the starting, and our bench is looking solid, man. So
just tackle that man, Vashawn Jackson Lowe. Tackle that man, Vashawn Jackson Lowe, as we just saw there in Charlotte. We saw Charlie's favorite scoreboard.
Oh yeah,
Florida rugby history.
Yeah.
You don't need to get into specifics, boys, but how are we looking?
Yeah, no, Bo got me in the last matchup.
how are we looking? You don't have to get into specifics for tactical reasons, but how are we looking availability-wise for this one?
Availability, we're looking pretty awesome. Sorry, my charger's going. I gotta get this thing plugged in, but availability is looking good. Like I said, we've got our full strength team back. There's not one guy on the starting 15 that shouldn't be there as of right now. Coach has also made it very, apparent that there's still spots open. So, Thursday training is going to be the final decider, and especially to fill those 8, finishing spots as well. But like I said, we've got 30 to 35 guys at training. Sometimes 20, 28, 29, but we've got a lot of guys there fighting, and it's been really great seeing how many guys have really built their rugby IQ and rugby experience this year, just playing around us. Older guys and veterans like Henderson and Hybrid and
a couple new guys who probably played on team too.
Yeah, exactly.
Earn their spot in national.
Right. And we've got Edwin Escalero back this week, which is a big one for our back 3. Fowle's always back this week after, a little niggle. And, we're looking pretty solid, I'd say. It's going to be it's going to be an 80-minute game. We know that from last year, losing by a point or two in overtime. So we're going to really rely on those 8 guys to finish for us this year and come in and make an impact instead of just holding up the standard.
Yeah,
I should have remembered that this is last year's game. You guys ended the first half, I believe it was like 21-3, like and
22-8.
Yeah, 22-8 at half.
But it just seemed like in the second half you couldn't keep the same intensity or concentration. Finals especially finals, there's a mental component that you have to have it, 100% sharp the 80 minutes. And
yeah, it's like Brock said, man. We had one key sub that kind of kicked it off, and you could tell the guy that we put on, the guy we took off is a savage. You know what I mean? He hits everybody. He's like 47, and he's still one of our best hitters on the team. He's a psychopath. And we took him off, put another guy on, and you could just see the look in guys' eyes sometimes. You could tell he wasn't ready, and you could do all you want to hype him up. Let's go. Time to hit somebody. You know what I mean? Kill mode, blah blah blah. But when you shook in your eyes, there's only so much we could do. You know what I mean? So we were kind of compensating for him, and maybe a couple of, like Brock said earlier, a couple of our subs weren't ready, and so like we're now doing extra. As hard as it is to face your rival in a big match like that, now you're compensating for other guys who are lacking in certain areas as well. It you know what I mean? It'll cut you at the end of the day, and it definitely wears down and it lets them in. And even when they scored that final try, when Bo cut towards the edge, you know what I mean? Like 3 of the 4 guys he ran at were new guys or dudes that weren't prepared, and he just happened to bowl through them and get that dot.
Yeah, I did miss that one. But that's another point I wanted to get to. That they don't have Beanie the Danger Man this year, and he's good for at least 2 tries every game. I think he was they proved to be very strong without him still, but I mean realistically he was the deciding factor in that final last year. So I mean we just gotta show up and play 80 minutes of rugby, and if we do that and play as a team and shut down their individual athleticism, I don't think we should have any issue.
They're hurting for Lukum too, and Lukum put one of them up on us too.
Yeah.
How many of your 23 from that game last year are back this year?
So you're looking at in the forward pack about 4 of the guys are the same. And we got probably 5: Martine, Hybrid, Sarge, Brennan, and Hendo. And then from the back line it'd be me, Sugimoto, Dwayne, and Jay, our Fijian or Papua New Guinea outside center. So you're looking at almost 5 a third of the team, if not a little more, are guys that have came in and gelled into the squad very well this year and really earned their spots and boosted us as a club. So I'm super stoked.
A lot of those guys too, they ran after last season and they seen that final, and some of the guys that joined in, man, the energy kept going through 7s. So like we ran 7s last year, and a lot of our forwards and whatnot, they came out and ran 7s, man, and they grew some hands and grew some lungs, and you know what I mean. They improved a lot over the summer, and I mean, shoot, we went 17-1 over the summer. You know what I mean. We won 3 of the tournaments, 2 of them by rain out, but I mean, we were kicking everybody's ass up for that. So it is what it is. But they played all through the summer, played all through the fall. So these guys that are starting have really earned their medal, you know what I mean, and deserve to be on this squad, and have proved it time and time again. So it's exciting to give them this opportunity as well, because they deserve it.
Yeah, listen, in the end, you lost to the national champions, right? So nothing to hold keep your heads down about there.
Yeah.
Hey, the national championship belongs in Florida. Oh, we hoping to do the same thing, just in a different county.
Exactly.
Hey, Brock, have you been practicing your kicking? Because you know how that goes in the final, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been practicing my kicking every week. I was looking pretty on target here yesterday at training. So I'm pretty confident with my boot. Plus, I like those high pressure situations. That's when I kick the best. Bring it on. I don't fold up, man.
Yeah, you're
Good
not
stuff,
gonna get
boys.
my man the Tory treatment, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've
Yeah,
seen you hating on my light skin Ken. You're not gonna do that to my Kiwi brother as well.
No, listen, there's going to be a lot of great matches on Saturday. I think this one could probably be the best of the lot.
Oh yeah, I mean it's always a good match between us, especially playing a team, 3 times in a year. You kind of learn each other's strengths and each other's weaknesses. So by the third one, you kind of got them, read pretty well. So you just got to come up, you just got to show up and do the deed on the day. It's enough talking, from our guys. That's kind of the motto at training. It's enough talk. It's time to walk the walk.
You guys don't want to try D2 next year just for a change? Play different teams.
So the thing is, we would be down for D2, and I'd be all for it. But in all honesty, I mean, we're still probably the oldest team in the state. You know what I mean? Like over half our team is older than 35, and on top of that, we got new guys, but they're not up to snuff enough to like push to D2 like that. So if we had plenty of young talent that was ready to go to D2 and hungry for it, then I'd be all for it. But I mean, shit, we got 9 guys that can retire at any time.
Well, a win would be a good way to go out.
Exactly.
Now, since our episode is sponsored by the Miami Sharks, Brevard's only a couple hours away from Miami. Is there a lot of buzz up your way about the Sharks and the potential of what it could bring to Florida rugby in general?
I think it's great. It's always tough being a development team, in the MLR. I've got a bunch of buddies that I played with at A-State that, play. I got a couple at NOLA Gold and a couple at Chicago. And, those teams, NOLA Gold's doing well, but Chicago is struggling. It's tough the first couple years, especially, figuring out that new talent, the right coaches, all that stuff. I mean, the Dallas Jackals just got their first win. But it's I'm stoked to see it come to Florida. I mean, we have some of the best athletes in the country. There's no reason there shouldn't be one here. I'd just love to see it do well its first year, and I'm definitely going to be attending a couple games for sure.
Good stuff, boys. Well, safe travels across the state, and it's not too far of a trip, but I think this might be the year, boys. I have a feeling about this one. I'm wearing red.
We're going to be doing the predictions on Friday with the sideline whisperer.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Which is not me.
Right.
Yeah. Well, one thing I wanted to say is the D2 switch. Look at the Pelicans. I mean, we played them in the semifinal last year, and they're in the grand final for the D2. So I mean, it benefits some teams. To me, I think there should only be D2, but that's my voice.
Yeah, there should just be one division. They talked about doing that last year, and then it never happened. So we'll see.
I think it should be D2, and that's it. I mean, it's
D2 and D4 because
if you want to have a B side in D4, yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that idea.
Ross, do you want me to play that little video you had here?
Listen, there's not many highlights of me playing rugby, Charlie.
Exactly.
This is me providing Brock with a beautifully floated pass for a try for Rolls Royce in the 7th Circuit back in the day. You can tell it's a long time ago because Craig Cardiganer is repping.
Look at those pink jerseys, baby.
I remember
where are those things right now? You got to bust those back out for surfing 7s this year.
Oh, I've got them, man. The Roper's Rugby Ready Fools on it, man.
They actually beat Brevard that year too. We had a pretty weak 7s team.
Yeah. That was back when I was playing up at A-State, and I was just playing back here for the summer and wasn't quite running with the red eye yet.
Yeah, we busted out a classic, Charlie. Goddamn. That's awesome.
Well, once again, congrats on making the final, first of all, and then best of luck Saturday. Bring home the trophy and end this Palm Beach streak.
Oh yeah, it's time. Right. Well overdue.
We got the heart.
Right, boys.
See you Saturday. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
guys.
Yeah.